Unfortunately, if your matter goes to the Constitutional Court, that's the final court.
After that, it's game over.
After that, it's game over. There's nothing that you can say. That's why I normally become surprised when politicians say, we need to bring back the death penalty. We need to castrate them. You can't do that. Death penalty will never come back. No goes on, politicians.
Will never come back. Unless if we change the constitution.
It never, ever, ever come back.
Unless if we change the constitution.
You can't even change that constitution. How do you change the constitution? Because what gives the right to life? It's Section 11. And the Mankwanyane case has decided to go to death penalty is inhuman. So how do you change the constitution? You can't change
in Parliament.
You can't change it. Let me give you a practical example. The constitution will say, I think it's Section 74, 75, somewhere there. They will tell you, to change Section 1, you need 75% majority.
Okay.
To change all other sections, you need 66%. I think it's 2/3.
Okay.
Yeah. But in practice, you can't. How do you change one man, one vote? How do you change Section 9, which speaks about men and women are equal? You can't change that.
You can't change that in Parliament. You can't vote to say women will be second-class citizens.
You can vote.
We are amending the Constitution about 75%.
But that act will not pass a constitutional court. It will be challenged in constitutional court. It will be struck down as unconstitutional, as you see now.
Even though Parliament has said.
Yes,
we want to bring back the death penalty.
We're in a constitutional democracy.
The same constitution will say no. We hear what Parliament has said, but we're saying that is unconstitutional.
They'll say that act is unconstitutional. Remember, during apartheid...
But we're amending the constitution.
During apartheid, we're in a parliamentary democracy. Parliament had the final say. But now we're in a constitutional democracy. Whether the president, executive, legislature say something, it still must be okayed by the Constitutional Court, which are the custodians of the Constitution. If any law or act is passed is in contravention with the Constitution, it must be struck down. So it cannot pass.
You're the first person to ever say the Constitution can't be changed.
There are certain things of as a codesa, but these 24 principles shall not be changed, whether you like it or not. I mean, how do you, give me a practical example. If you can come tomorrow and say, we are changing one man, one vote, that speaks about universal suffrage. Or if you can't, you say, we are changing Section 2, which says South Africa is based on the constitutional supremacy. Section 7, the Bill of Rights is the cornerstone. You can't change it. Even in a state of emergency, there are certain rights that don't go away. I mean, if you go to Section 37, it speaks about the state of emergency. The rights of criminals, rights of children, they stay there.
If we decide in Parliament, MK, EFF, ANC, some other parties, 75% decide we want to nationalize all the land. Maybe chase white people away. You're saying that will be blocked by the constitutional court.
It will never survive because
even though they voted for it in Parliament.
Now it will be going to the realm and discrimination, and no one should be discriminated based on race, based on color, religion, and it will be struck down by the Constitutional Court. Even death sentence, if you bring back the death sentence, I mean the Constitutional Court has finally decided, in Mankwanyane case, good to know it's inhuman.
Parliament can't bring back the death penalty.
It can't. You need a revolution to do that. You need a dictator who will come and say, I'm suspending the constitution, I've got guns, soldiers. You cannot. You need, under this law.
Are you saying that, and I get you, that we can vote for something in Parliament? Doesn't matter, even if there's 90% majority.
Okay. Even if it's 100%.
If the whatever party takes it to
the Constitutional Court.
Someone has to take it.
Yeah, someone has to take it. Then they've got final say. Just like the simple thing as the vet thing. Majority of people voted for that thing, but still primarily a political
even them
party
themselves
to court, and that court judgment has its view. So even
does it need to? So let's say Parliament votes the death penalty in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Will it be implemented unless someone takes it to court?
Yes.
Does it need to be taken?
No.
It will not be, even if it's there in the law. I mean, for starters, even yourself, you know it. The drafters of the act and all that, they know it themselves. If it goes to court, it will be challenged, of course. I mean, the magistrate...
But someone has to take it.
Even if it's in court, let's say, for an example, the Parliament says, okay, we are bringing back the death penalty. There's an act. It goes to court. The judge will interpret the Constitution himself and says, no, I can't, apply this.
But in Parliament, they bring back the death penalty. They want to change the Constitution.
Yeah, they change the constitution. Let's say, I'm going to say they bring back the death sentence. Or
They
death
want the
penalty.
constitution amended.
Let's say it's amended.
But no one takes it to court.
Let's say for an example, I'm going to now.
So there's no more right to life.
If you say now, let's say
the constitution.
Let me give you it like this.
Sure.
The parliament, they say death penalty is back. It's fine. Somebody's arrested. The prosecutor saying, no, I'm asking for a death penalty in court. It has to be asked in court. But no, the magistrate or judge, whoever, he will refuse.
No, but
On what basis? Because the constitution's been amended.
But I'm very confused now. It means that whatever we've been told is a lie. Because how I've understood it is that the people in parliament make the laws. So let's make the example here, death penalty. Ne?
Yes.
So 75%, 90% votes, but death penalty. From tomorrow we implement it. The presidency, they go in and the presidency speaks to his lawyers and they're like, you know what, this thing might pass in the law. Ne?
Yeah.
Sharp. They sign it into law. Ne?
Yeah.
The next day, someone goes to prison, death penalty. How I've understood it is that if someone doesn't challenge that constitutional, that amendment, then that thing is law already because the majority of people in parliament have agreed to it.
And let me say this.
Even if you don't,
even
if you don't challenge that law itself, because somebody has been brought to court,
yes,
and the prosecutor has to ask for a death penalty.
Yes, sir.
The judge, in his judgment, he has to interpret the constitution. No, you are asking for a death penalty based on this law. I can't, because in terms of Section 11, the right to life, in terms of...
But that's what's being amended.
But that's what is being amended to the Agrippa by the 90%.
Or you amend Section 11.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. When it's being amended...
the constitution can't be changed. That's what I was asking.
It cannot be. That's Section 11. You cannot change it to reflect that tomorrow there's a death penalty. If you change that those changes or that act will be unconstitutional because the Constitutional Court has already decided. Death sentence, you will never come back.
Maybe Ike is not hearing us. Or maybe we're not hearing him.
Okay.
Let me try and simplify it. Forget death penalty and stuff. Can South Africa change the Constitution? Can the South African government change anything in the Constitution?
You can change the Constitution. There are certain sections that you can change in the Constitution. But there are certain sections that you cannot change.
Who governs those?
Because they go back to the core, maybe especially with Bill of Rights.